that's it on that. Why don't we move on to our favorite person to shit on, Miss Hot Tamale, Hot Latina,
Oh,
AOC.
that
Oh
big booty,
yeah,
that big
big
booty
boo,
Latina.
the
Oh,
Latinx.
oh, Latin X, baby.
So she's going to be the subject of our "Come On Man" segment of the day. And those of you who've been with us for a while, which is probably the only people that actually watch us, you guys know that the "Come On Man" segment is what we like to do at the end of a show, where we highlight somebody that has said something, done something so ridiculous, so absurd that there's really not much else we can say to them except "Come on, man." So, without further ado, this was AOC talking to someone about the girls, trans men in female sports conversation.
spent decent amount of my time here in Congress sitting through panels and hearings of men attempting to restrict the rights of women and telling us that it's for our own good. But I want to dive a little bit more deeply into why this issue with targeting trans women in sports is particularly problematic, not just for trans girls, but for all of us. We're here today because there's a proposal here, and there are several proposals here, to further marginalize trans women in sports. And I think about this all the time because trans people in the United States doesn't even exceed 1% of our population. And yet there is so many resources and energy and time dedicated to figuring out how we can more finely exclude them from our sports. And I thought, why? Why so much effort and dedication on such a tiny portion of the US population when there virtually is no major issue that is precipitating? And I started to realize that a lot of these proposals here involve invasion of privacy of all women.
Where are her glasses, first of all? When she's really trying to be serious and prove a point, she busts out those glasses. So I don't understand what she's doing there. But secondly, how many times when she talks does she just try to like use words that she's like thinks are going to be like catchy buzzwords for people? She tries to use like words like that are fancy sounding. Oh, when does it precipitate the precipitation of the personification of the situation? Like, what are you doing?
Precipitation is a crazy word for you. What about progams?
No, it's not a crazy word. Like, whatever. Progams might be. Participant.
You seen this lady in the background?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the lady fully masked in the back. Loving it. Absolutely teed up. But how about AOC? Her first line of attack in this questioning, right, is the Democrats' favorite game. We're doing something completely ridiculous, completely out of the ordinary, completely absurd, and it's going to change all of our standards and norms. But why are you noticing? Why are you noticing? Like, she's like, oh, it's only like 1% of the population. Do you not understand that this is your whole worldview? And this is why you guys are so obsessed with this? You guys are the ones forcing this on people. You guys are the ones shoving this down our throats. When we push back against it, when we say, hey, listen, this is a little nuts. Why are you noticing? This is only a small fraction of the population. Like, piss off with that. And then when she can't get us on that, she tries to broaden the conversation from the absurd, from the extreme, into Republicans just want to control women's bodies. Republicans want to tell us what we can and can't do. And
I
I
don't
don't
want
know
to
if
give
you
away the thing, but I think
well,
women, whether it be cis or like, no, I don't think that's in a different clip in a bit.
yeah.
But it's
No,
like,
no, no.
no,
Yeah,
that's the thing. You can't do
yeah.
it.
No. It's
The
not
women's bodies,
women.
whether they be cis or trans. No, those are men
No.
and women.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just women's body whether they are women. Like
Cis
yes,
or
exactly.
trans.
Exactly. I think we got a little bit more on this whole thing. We might be stopping and starting a bit here and there. So let's keep going with it.
You down with AOC?
Yeah, you know me.
Ms. Goss-Graves, can you tell us a little bit about what sex testing looks like for youth in states with trans athletic bans?
It's terrible. In some states, any individual could challenge whether someone is a girl enough to play. In some states, it requires actual genital verification, which is shocking. And it's not as if there.
And let me just stop you right there. You said there are some proposals. I mean, we've seen this in Ohio. There was a proposed ban on trans athletes that originally allowed for genital examinations on minors in order to quote unquote protect women. Is that correct?
Unfortunately, yes.
And so we're seeing here in this guise, under the guise of not only trying to further marginalize trans women and girls, we are talking about opening up all women and girls to genital examinations when they are underage.
That's right.
Potentially just because someone can point to someone and say, I don't think you're a girl.
That's correct.
And we're saying this in an environment of a post-Dobbs America where states are criminalizing access to abortion and want nothing more than data on women to figure out who's getting a menstrual cycle, who doesn't have one. And we're supposed to believe that this is going to make us better and safer? I think not. And per usual, I don't believe we're sitting here in a panel of men that has actually thought about the biology and privacy consequences of all women, trans or cisgender here.
Yep. You notice this time around, the hands really started going a little bit more. You're telling me.
You got a wand.
You're telling me. No, I'm serious now. I got my glasses on. I got my glasses. You know, she's playing with her mic, moving it around. The glasses mean I'm serious. And the cisgender and you're telling me that men want to control women's bodies. That's what you're telling me.
In a post-Dobbs world.
Post-Dobbs. So notice that at the beginning of this, it's about, dude, at the end of the day, should full-ass grown men be playing sports against women? That's what this is about. And she brings it to, okay, should men be playing with women? Oh, this is such a small number. What are we even bothering wasting our time on? This isn't barely even happening. Then the next step is, well, if it is happening, this is in a women can't get an abortion day. This is in a men are trying to tell us how our menstrual cycle should work. You're trying to monitor what I'm doing. When am I menstruating? When? Oh, okay. No sports for you. So just completely moving it along the lines. So now she brought in what's the big deal, people? And then she got those people and she's trying to bring in the, men are trying to control women's bodies, people. These feminists, women control people. Sorry. You're not what?
I'm not, the ones that we're seeing are the issues. We don't need are we looking at a prepubescent vagina? She's like, we're doing genital checks. Dude, this is everywhere. Just don't put the girl or the boy in the thing. We don't need to be
That's
genital checks. It's because you're
it.
doing this bullshit about
That's it.
like, oh, they can do this and identify as that. Now you're making it to be
Yep.
genital checks. But like, no,
Exactly.
just like if you're a boy, go to the boys' game. If you're a girl, go to the girls' game. If you're the guy who's doing the bike riding, which I think that's all a women's sport. But like, you're all race. We don't need to check the genitals. You
Not
can
that
tell
hard.
who's who. Like that kills.
What do
the
we
issue. Like,
say?
oh, you're saying they're moving it to a genital check.
Absolutely.
do,
What do we say? What do we say at the beginning of the show? Common sense about the issues of the day, right? Like, come on. What are we doing here? Like, that's it. We got some more of her?
If you want.
Gender here. Ms. Goss-Graves, in addition to that, are there certain groups more likely to face discrimination under these bans? When it comes to, and what you were speaking to, particularly when it comes to Black women and girls?
Yeah, we have seen that there are examples of Black women who are even professional athletes whose bodies have been more examined and demonized. We've seen that with my fan favorite, Serena Williams, whose body is often talked about. That sort of challenging them for who they are, if it is codified into law, is something that we would expect to see.
What do you got?
Nothing. I'm just saying. Has anybody ever seen Serena Williams? And oh my God, those glasses! That was hilarious.
Well, I'm even more serious now. The glasses are even bigger.
I
Like
mean,
when I'm
yeah,
really
how
trying
big
to
is-
prove a point.
How big is your pen now? You don't have a mask on your face. We couldn't see you at all.
Yep.
I was just saying. Has
Because
anybody ever seen Serena Williams and Michelle Obama in the same room at once?
who? Obama?
Michael LaVaughn Robinson.
Oh, no, I've never seen them in the same place, actually. That's a great point.
Those glasses. Those are those.
Great point. And I think we've all heard plenty of times the clips of Miss Serena Williams grunting along, right?
Ugh.
Ugh!
Yeah.
Ugh! And I think maybe that's why that might come into question, not just
You
people
like
lifting up
that,
her skirt.
Barack? Is that the spot?
I love it. I love it. But come on. So she's gone from we're doing something extreme and ridiculous. Why are you even noticing? To it's an attack on all women in our menstrual cycles. To now it's discrimination against Black and brown women who are more subjected to questions about their womanhood. Thank you very much. All right. We have, I think, one more of her, right, Juice?
Yeah. Too long, but we'll see what we got.
And this also deeply intersects with a secondary issue, which is racial bias in the medical field. When we have vast proportions of populations that have been studied and tested are not racially or otherwise identity-based representative of the broader US population. And so what gets determined as a norm oftentimes gets pegged to largely white populations that have been studied, and then Black women and girls are then further subject to marginalization. This has been in your experience and what you've seen as well, right?
That's correct.
And so we're supposed to sit here on this side of the dais and to ranking member Lee's point, see a party that has voted against women's access to abortion, voted against our right, the Lilly Ledbetter Equal Pay Act, voted against the Violence Against Women Act, voted against our right to have access to contraception, and also doesn't even vote for equal funding, equitable funding in women's sports. And I'm supposed to believe that this is who's looking out for my best interests? I think not. And to that, I yield back. Now, I've spent
Horrible.
Yeah,
Tries to
sure.
close it. tries to close it with, men don't even want to fund the women's sports equally with the men's sports. To which I say, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't, because women's sports suck. Like, they're not fun to watch. That's why nobody watches them. Nobody goes to them. It is what it is. I'm sorry to
But
say
we
that.
still love women, though.
Absolutely. Great. And I want them to play. Like, if women want to play sports, I want my daughter to play sports. She likes playing like what she plays. Like, it's fine.
Adorable. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's great. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not watching the women's college basketball
Not
tournament.
really watching it, though, right?
No, I'll watch my own daughter like play
Taking a
recreationally,
call,
like
smoking a butt.
in kids. But yeah, and she tries to tie it into that at the end. These people don't even want to fund them equally. No, why should we?
Can't
Why
have
should we?
contraception. She goes to contraception.
Of course, she
They're
tries to
killing-
bring in
killing
all the
babies.
bugaboos. She wants to bring them all in because it just ties into her entire worldview. And oppressor oppressed is like the go-to, and it's like, oh, men have been the dominant members of the society and women are oppressed living in the kitchen, blah blah blah. Like, that's where they go with that. And it's like, dude, you want to completely erase womanhood by allowing men to come in now and beat women in sports, to take it away
No.
from them.
Dude, no one will be in the kitchen at this point.
No, it's absolutely absurd.
We'll all go hungry.
Like, fine, awesome. That's the downfall of society then. Great.
It really could be, though,
so-
that we don't reproduce. Like, that's real
No,
life.
of course. And it's like it's already happened. We've gone from, my grandparents had 8 children. My parents had 2. I have 2. Like, in you guys, you
Ooh.
have 3
I might
in
have.
your family, and then you had 2 children of your own.
Yeah. All right,
But like,
well,
that's like, who else? No. No, you're not.
yeah, possibly.
Go for it. But at the end of the day,
If we like and subscribe,
like and subscribe. Maybe he'll pop another one out. We'll get
Yeah.
another juice child.
you can
out
name
there.
you can name them.
Name them for comment. Type in
top
code.
comment
Code
gets to name it.
juicebox.
Top comment gets to name the boy,
Absolutely.
because you get to pick the gender, like whatever was his
I
name
guess.
first.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna decide the gender 12 years from now, right?
Actually, type in the gender and then we'll just assign it later to them.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome. So I guess with all that stuff being said, Miss AOC, once again, because I'm sure you've earned one of these before, but you have earned yourself a big fat classic. Come on, man. And I think that'll do it for the show. Juice, you got anything else to add to the people? You want to let them know where to subscribe and follow us?
Yeah, on all those things, on the places and things, and thanks for
Thanks for having us.